What is going on, my family? Your boy Demetrius is back with another classic Tekken 8 video. When I mean classic, this is going to be classic. Going to be a little bit different from what people expected it to be. I know people were probably going to expect some type of an archive when it came to the, first to 10 that me and Val Schemer had, or I guess you could say Moonsault Simp had. But yeah, this is going to be something completely different because I want to go over damn near everything, leading up to this point when it comes to this situation with me and Moonsault Slayer. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Because, it's one of those type of situations. It is educational to a certain extent because, it's one of those type of situations where, you think somebody is cool with you and they're really not. And the reason why they're really not cool with you is because of everybody else that's around them, according to the internet. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those educational situations. It's almost like that saying, keep your friends close, your enemies closer. I kind of felt like that's how I was treated in this situation when it came to Moonsault Slayer. I don't think he's smart enough to work like that, but the situation did kind of seem like it was like that. It was almost like a keep your friends close, your enemies closer type of thing. And shit like that really pisses me off. But I also want to go over, what happened during that match. And I also want to go over the history. And I also want to answer some questions on why wasn't I punishing certain things such as Yoshimitsu's 3-1? There is a reason for that. There's actually a couple of reasons for that. And then, all the allegations. I see it all over the internet. I know what people are saying. Oh, I'm trash this, I'm trash that. Guess what? This is the Tekken community, okay? The Tekken community is full of fake-ass elitism. And then on top of that, I'm an Eddie player. So naturally, people are going to say I'm trash just because the character that I use. But it's okay. It's okay. I know I'm not trash. I know I understand the game. And guess what? I'm going to continue to play the game. Can't nobody stop me from doing that. I'm going to continue to play the game, and I'm going to continue to whoop ass. You feel what I'm saying? That ain't never going to change. But I do want to start off by saying, I was going to wait to the end of the video to say this, but I'm going to say at the beginning of the video, look, don't play these games just because of friends. Don't play these games just because you want to seek somebody's approval. Don't play these games just because you like somebody better than somebody. You feel what I'm saying? Play the game because you love the game. Play the game because it's what you want to do. And when it comes to being cool with whoever, yeah, all that shit is cool. But at the end of the day, no, man, keep that shit out of it. People need to learn to keep their feelings at the door when they play these games. And people like Val Schemer just does not have the fucking people skills to keep the shit at the door and play the fucking game. But like I said, we're going to get into that. So I want to start off by saying, I want to start off discussing the match, the first to 10. Well, I'm going to start off by going back to the first to 10 that we had when it came to Val Schemer. Now, a lot of people say that I may have underestimated Moonsault Slayer or Moonsault Simp. You feel what I'm saying? Now, I didn't underestimate him, but there were a lot of things that were going on that I did not see at first that was really hindering me in that situation. Number one, it was the play style. Number two, I figured this out in the second first to 10 that I did with him. It was his bad connection. And I was telling them, I think it was like the second match of the latest first to 10 that we had, the one that I won, the money match. I was telling them, this dude's connection is trash. This is the reason why this dude is getting off with shit, and I'm getting hit just for the sake of getting hit. Like, the dude's connection is trash. He had a 2-frame delay advantage. He had a 2 delay rollback advantage. I'm like, oh, okay, this is what's going on here. I did not think about that in the first to 10 that we had. The dude had a trash connection, and that's one of the reasons why I was getting hindered along with his stupid ass play style. You feel what I'm saying? Then a lot of people wanted to mock me and meme me on why I thought his play style was hindering. But you got to go 3 or 4 months ago. Fighting GM said the same damn thing. You feel what I'm saying? He said the exact same thing that I said when it came to Moonsault Simp about his play style and about his connection. Fighting GM literally said his play style is hindering and his connection was trash. So I don't understand why people coming at me like I was making excuses and shit like that when Fighting GM said it in the first place. So I felt that was kind of weird and fucked up. But yeah, dude had a trash connection, and that was the reason why I played the way that I played. I really had to dumb down my game and diminish what I was doing in order for it to all work. And gratefully, it did. I did go in with a strategy. There were certain things that I chose not to punish such as Yoshimitsu's 3-1, because I just did not trust the connection. And it was one of those things I strategized to the point where if he kept doing it, I was going to save it in my back pocket. And that's exactly what y'all saw at the end of the first to 10. When it was time for me to end everything, I came out with it. That was on purpose. I was not ducking that move on purpose because I did not trust the connection at that time, and I left it in my back pocket to when I really needed it. And that's another thing when it comes to these fighting games, especially with these 3D fighting games. People just don't know how to strategize anymore. Whatever happened to strategizing? You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, it was just me strategizing, but to everybody else, it was trash. It was, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm coming out and saying right now, it was a strategy. He kept doing it. He kept spamming it. So I'm saying to myself, okay, he's going to keep on doing it. I'm going to save it for a rainy time. And that's exactly what I did. And I was able to end the match. Another thing that I want to talk about when it came to that first to 10, while I was fighting Moonsault Slayer, like I said, I don't underestimate nobody. It wasn't that type of thing where I went in knowing that I was going to win. I went in knowing what I was going to do. You feel what I'm saying? I knew what I had to do. And basically going back and watching film, which people thought that I didn't watch no film. Yes, I did watch film. Yes, I did train. And I did get advice from a buddy of mine who's also an Eddie player. So I did the preparations. I did all the preparations. When it came to the battle, one of the things that, I did was, like I said, didn't trust the connection. So I just blocked. I just blocked and I waited on the obvious. I waited on the obvious punishments to where if I were to block it, I know that the lag wouldn't intercept. Basically, all of the lows that I was blocking, I know lag can't get in between that. A couple of other moves that I was blocking and I would just 1-2 them. Now, he kept doing Yoshimitsu's sword uppercut and all of that. Now, here's the thing. I wasn't punishing that because I had lag trouble. There was trouble with the lag. When I tried to punish it the first time and nothing came out because the game ate my inputs, I was just like, okay, you know what? If he keeps doing that, leave it alone. Because the thing about it is, when you're going up against someone with a trash connection and a play style such as Moonsault Slayer, you whiff that punishment or something happens, you're going to get launched. That is what y'all saw in the first to 10. So I was not going to let that happen again. So, like I said, I did not trust the connection and I just blocked. And if I didn't trust it, I would block and move on to the next frame, next possession. You feel what I'm saying? Now, if that's trash to y'all, so be it. That's just me being smart and not doing something stupid because the connection was not in my favor. Another thing that I saw is that, yes, I was throwing out 4-4-3 simply because he was not blocking it. I don't know why he wasn't blocking it. I don't know what was going on. But yes, I kept throwing it out. And the reason why I kept throwing it out, because it gave me all kind of options. Now, the thing about it is when it came to the mix-ups, why weren't I mixing him up? Because I just seen what was going on. He had an idea. There was this idea that I saw that when I would throw out forward 4-3, he would try to come out with hop kick or he would try to come out with a standing 4. And that's what I was trying to bait out. And I was able to do it time and time and time again to the point where there was no need for me to really mix up unless it was on counter hit. And that's exactly what I did. So I kept throwing 4-4-3 in hopes that he would just throw something out, which he kept doing, and that's what happened. You feel what I'm saying? So I just feel like everybody say it was trash Tekken. On my part, it was intelligent Tekken. But since I'm an Eddie player, people ain't going to give me that credit. That was intelligent, what I was doing. Throw 4-4-3. He mashes out hop kick, standing 4. You know what I'm saying? Now, the standing 4s I didn't punish because, like I said, I just didn't trust the connection. There was one time I tried to, he blocked it and launched me. And I was just like, so don't fuck with the standing 4s. But when he kept mashing out those hop kicks, that's when I would get him. Other than that, look, when you're going up against a mashy, ignorant player like Moonsault Slayer, look, sometimes it's like the saying, you fight fire with fire. Sometimes you got to diminish yourself in order to have a chance. You know what I'm saying? I always knew the guy ain't better than me. He on no level. I'm level ahead of him. 30 times better than him. But at the same time, bad connection. He's a hindering player. So it was like I had to play in that trenches, and I had to diminish myself on purpose in order to get things done. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, y'all been seeing me. If y'all been following me and watching me, I've been going up against so many other God of Destruction Yoshimitsu players that are 30 times better than Vault Schemer is. And, you know, y'all seen it. Y'all seen how I play. You know, even when I won the first to 10 money match, that is not how I play, you know, and people judge that, and that's fine. You know, it's just how I had to play in order to get it done. And if I were to do it again, y'all would probably see some scrubby looking Tekken again, because of the person that I'm going up against is a complete scrub, and he's carried by that predictable ass character. So now I want to talk about the whole thing with Twitter. When it all got announced that the money match was going to happen, everybody knows about the whole $1,000 thing. And a lot of people are like, well, you know what? You should have accepted $1,000. But here's the thing. I had the $1,000, obviously, but that was not the goal. It was not the goal at all. That's why I was like, I ain't doing no fucking $1,000, because this is not what the shit was all about in the first place. This dude came at me saying that, you know, I had to earn it, and he put money up at first for $100. So I was like, okay, let's do $100 rematch. I thought either it was going to happen or it wasn't. Then he comes out on Twitter and says $1,000. Like, why would you even do it? That just tells me right there, this dude, Moonsault Slayer, has no fucking responsibilities at all. You throwing money out here like that. I literally saved him. You feel what I'm saying? I literally saved him. I was never going to accept that $1,000 match, despite how garbage and free that he is. I was never going to do that. Because I'm a man, I have responsibilities. You feel what I'm saying? I thought about my responsibilities. This whole thing with YouTube, the Tekken 8 or whatever, this is second and third compared to what I got going on in real life. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm not going to jeopardize that ever. When it comes to these video games, when it comes to social media, I'm never going to fucking do that. When it comes to a money match, my whole thing is I don't go above 500. I really don't. That $1,000, that was just out of the question. You feel what I'm saying? I got very upset to the point where, because I knew he was invested, and I think he really did it because he was bluffing. I think it was just a whole bluff. I really don't think he really wanted to give up $1,000, let alone do it anyway. And the reason why he didn't want to do it anyway, because he knew he was going to lose. Let's just keep it all the way real. Moonsault Slayer knew he was going to lose. That's why he didn't want to do it. But of course, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say he got persuaded, because I would have to sit here and say that I got persuaded. He just accepted the terms, just like I accepted the terms, which was $200. You know, and like I said, if we play again, it may be 500, but I'm not going higher than that. You know, so that's what happened with that. And then, of course, you know, Tekken Twitter gets excited. You had people that were excited for it. You had your bitch ass trolls that come out. You got motherfucking Ryujin comes out of nowhere, starts talking all his fucking shit. And I was just like, you know what? It's crazy how for the people that can't stand you and don't like you, they don't say shit for so long. But then when your name comes up, that's when they want to fucking talk. You feel what I'm saying? I just find that very interesting. But that just lets me know right there, somebody may not like you, but they respect the fuck out of you. And Ryujin respects the fuck out of me, because you know why? He was so invested in what was going on here. He spammed a lot of shit out on Twitter. So, you know, shout out to Ryujin for being invested in me and having respect for me, even though you claim you don't like me. So, and then the dude is subscribed to my channel. So, you know, it's just one of those interesting kind of things. You know, guys like him, there were a couple of other guys that just came out of their fucking grave, start talking shit and all that, and that's good. Everybody got invested, and you know, one thing about it, it spread because their followers ended up watching the first to 10, and that's what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted. That's why I was trying to tell Vault Schemer, quit being a dumb fuck and let's do something special here. But of course, he didn't listen to me. He had to listen to other people in order to get it done. But it got done, and it's one of the best things that has happened to Tekken 8. You know, yeah, people are going to say it was bad Tekken. They're only saying it because they're fucking elitists. You feel what I'm saying? Once again, the hypocrisy of Tekken 8. People say they don't like this about the game. People say they don't like this. They don't like that. But then when two non-pro player people get together and have a monumental first to 10, it's trash. Tekken community, y'all got to stop being retarded. Y'all got to stop being retarded off this elitism. The elitism is not a good look. It really ain't. Now, I want to talk about the history. And I think this is one of the things that a lot of people are really wanting to know when it comes to the history between me and Moonsault Simp. You know, I think the history goes back to kind of like a few months after Tekken 8 Season 1. You know, there was this situation that went down between me and someone else. The person that I already mentioned a couple of minutes ago in the video. And, you know, at that time, I thought, you know, I was cool. Me and Moonsault Slayer were cool at that time. And, you know, when that situation with me and the other person, who's a Devil Gym player, went out, Moonsault Slayer made a video. I didn't have no problem with the video because the story hadn't concluded yet. But once the story concluded, Moonsault Slayer turned around and made the video. So I was like, okay, you know, he did what he was supposed to do. He made the video concluding the whole situation. And then this whole thing with another content creator, you know, I don't like putting names in this shit, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Another content creator. Moonsault Slayer, you know, made the first tier list. The first Tekken content creator tier list, which of course he puts me at the bottom. And let's just put it out there right now. Because I beat his ass on the grand stage and made him look like shit, the next Tekken content creator that Moonsault Slayer does, you could best believe he's going to put me at the dead bottom. Just because of what happened. Just because he says he doesn't like me, he's going to put me at the dead bottom. And I'm going to tell people right now, Low Tier God was right by what he said when it comes to these Tekken tier lists. It's dick riding. Watch what I say. He going to put me at the dead bottom for no apparent reason. Just because he got his ass kicked, he lost money, and he likes other people and doesn't like me. So I'm going to be at the dead bottom, the next tier list that he makes. You know, so he exposed himself right there. When he makes these tier lists, the people that he likes, the people that he's cool with, they're going to be an S and A tier. So he compared me to another content creator who's a racist. And that's what pissed me off right there. Now, I don't know why he did that, but he did that. And I made a response video to that. And I'm just like, hey, Moonsault Slayer, chill out, man. I don't know what the fuck you on, but chill out. He literally said I was more toxic than that other dude who is a racist. How do you compare me to a white racist content creator? How do you do that? So I'm telling him, Moonsault Slayer, chill, you know, chill. So he turns around, he gets a hold of my video, and he puts all my shit on live. You know what I'm saying? And he just completely goes off after I'm telling him, chill. Oh, this guy looks like he's on drugs and this and that. Moonsault was just going crazy. I'm just like,
look at his eyes. Why is his eyes like this? Like, is that drugs or something? Making it personal? Oh well. Go. I don't think I need to release another video to prove my point at all. You can watch this video, D, and you can see that I think you are a idiot. If you want to solve this in Tekken, first show me your bank account. I'll show you my bank account, and we can compare who has more money as an opinion.
I thought me and this dude was cool. Like, I'm looking at this stream like, oh, he's telling me I look like I'm on drugs and all of that. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's what started it all right there. After I told him to chill out with the whole I'm more toxic than, fuck it, I'm going to say it. After I told him to chill out when he told me I was more toxic than Auric, he does a stream and he goes completely crazy. I do my responses back and forth. And, you know, and that's how the beef started. Me getting accused of being toxic to a racist is bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, you know, people were trying to get a 1st to 10 to happen, but, you know, it just never happened. And then, you know, basically everybody just moved on. So it was just like, you know, two both sides didn't like each other, hated each other, or whatever. So, like I said, flash forward into now. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that he also threatened to do some type of diss video on me, but I never responded to that because he was just trying to be on some hard shit. But I just wanted to put that in there. But even though he did turn around and he did an extra video on me, but I never responded to that video either. Flash forward into the second Tekken content creator tier list that he made. Basically, you know, that tier list, you know, he put everybody that he liked on top and everybody that he doesn't like on the bottom. Let's just keep it all the way real. this whole situation exposed that. And I think a lot of people were kind of basically, seeing how I was going to react to it. Even though at that time, me and Moonsault were kind of, talking, and then everything, everything was cool with it. I didn't care about that tier list because to me, it was a bunch of bullshit, but I just didn't let it be known because I'm over here doing my thing. I ain't bothering no damn body. And if that's his opinion on where he wants to put me in a tier list just because he likes other people better, I've been done known this about him. He's one of those, he's a follower. You feel what I'm saying? Where I come from, he's a straight fuck boy. You feel what I'm saying? So I knew he was going to do some shit like this. So it didn't really faze me. But we ended up talking and everything I thought was cool again. We both put it on Twitter how me and him are following each other and everything. So everything is cool. So that was that. Now it was one of those situations where, Mike Hollow has this thing where they host events on his podcast like every Friday and stuff like that. And, I gained the idea of just playing and having fun. And so I went to Moonsault Slayer and be like, hey, let's run a little 1st to 10 or some shit like that. Moonsault Slayer, no, because he didn't have time because he was challenging other people. And then I was like, cool. And then, when it came to the point, that Friday, I get told by Mike Hollow, like, hey, you and Moonsault Slayer are going to be facing each other. And I was like, okay, cool. First to 10, everybody knows what happened. He beat me. It was just one of those, like, when I went into that, I was just really just surprised and shocked by the play style. And like I said, the bad connection, even though I was not really thinking about the bad connection, it had a lot to do with it at the time. But I just wasn't thinking about that. The things that I was thinking about is how hindered I was being. You know what I'm saying? I was really getting hindered in that 1st to 10. So I went into that thinking that, this was going to be a guy that knew that what he was doing. And he wasn't. And sometimes when it comes to these fighting games, especially in the 3D fighting games, you come across somebody that don't know what they're doing. That person going to make both of y'all look bad. You feel what I'm saying? And this is coming from a Virtua Fighter player. So I know, like in Virtua Fighter, if you're an expert, then you go up against somebody that just don't know what they're doing. In Virtua Fighter, it's going to look ugly. It's going to look ugly because that other person is just on some dumb shit while you up here expecting this, expecting that, expecting this person to counter you because you would think he knows what they're doing. So I went into that with the Virtua Fighter mentality that this person knows what he's doing. I'm expecting mix-ups. I'm expecting to hit or get hit and stuff like that, and it just didn't happen. So it was just basically like I was ice skating the whole time in that first to 10. And, if I knew that, because that was the first time I've ever played Moonsault Simp. That was the first time I ever played him. So it was just one of those, I was ice skating the whole time. And I was like, hey, let's run it back. For fun purposes, not for money. I was like, come on, let's run that back because I just needed another crack at it. I needed another crack at it. And here is where Moonsault Slayer shows his bitch-ass nature. Look, he says, no, I don't want to do it. So I'm sitting up here like, okay, you know what? I'm forced to respect it. So the next day, he makes a video. And, of course, when you win, you're going to make that big video, right? So I saw the video, whatever. I comment on the video. I gave him a clap. And I gave him a 100% well done. He makes a second video. I'm like, I didn't watch the second video because I'm just like, whatever. He makes a third video. He makes a YouTube short about me. And then he makes a fourth video. I'm like, okay, let me click on this and let me see what he has to say. And he's saying all kind of stupid ass shit, talking about, oh, I'm not trying to continue this, this beef with D. When it wasn't a beef, it was just two people having fun, two people that had beef, but this was supposed to be different. So that kind of told me right there, he didn't get over what happened last year. It was still on him. He still had some type of shit against me. And I kind of felt like when Moonsault Slayer won that first to 10, it kind of felt like a gotcha moment. Like, okay, I beat D. Now I'm just going to let everybody know how I truly feel about him. And that's exactly what happened. And it's fucked up and it's a damn shame. And he was saying in that video, oh, I want to face tougher people. this and that, this and that. I have a journey and all of this. And I'm just sitting up here like, you want to face tougher people? And I'm sitting up here like, before he faced me, he faced guys like Mike Hollow, King J, Joe Button, all those guys. And you lost. So what are you talking about? So I'm just sitting up here like, that's why I call him a clout chaser, because that's what he is. He's a follower and a clout chaser. You're just trying to seek motherfuckers' approval. You know what I'm saying? People that you done already gone up against and lost to. You know what I'm saying? So I made my response video off of that particular video because he was talking some stupid shit. The most stupid shit I've ever heard. You know? And, you know, he saw that video, and that's when the whole $1,000 thing happened. And then I was like, we not doing this shit for $1,000. We're not doing it. I don't give a fuck what people say. We're not doing this shit for no $1,000. You know, it ain't my fault these other motherfuckers, fake ass elitist Tekken motherfuckers, don't got no life out here and no responsibilities. I ain't doing that. So we were able to get it down, and we were able to get the match to happen. It was really sudden. It was on a work night, but you know what? This is what I wanted. All eyes were on us. You know, this was what I envisioned, you know, and it was bigger than anything that had happened on that show, you know, prior. And it really, truly was. This is what I envisioned. You know, I didn't care about winning or losing. I really honestly didn't. But I did go in and give it my all. I wasn't going to slack off. And I did go in knowing that I was going to get hindered. I was not going to play my best Tekken because, like I said, Moonsault Slayer is just completely garbage, and his connection was trash. So I knew I was going to be limited. It is what it is. I was able to get the job done. A lot of people thought that was trash Tekken. It was intelligent Tekken because I had to work against lag. I had to work against a player that doesn't know what he's doing, and I had to work against a dumbass character. So, hey, give a motherfucker some props, okay? That was not trash Tekken. That was intelligent Tekken. I went in with a methodical strategy, something that people just don't do anymore when it comes to 3D fighting games. So I come out with the victory. And at the end of the victory, like I said, you know, I talked my shit. Was it personal? Yeah, it was. Did it have to be? No, it wasn't. Because I was under the impression that me and Moonsault Slayer were cool. You feel what I'm saying? But obviously I was wrong. The way that he was talking, like I said, he didn't give a damn about me in the first place. That's why I was telling people, like, you really do got people out here that's on that bullshit to where, oh, I like this person better. I'm going to do what this person says. I'm going to do what this person wants me to do. This is what I had to go up against with Moonsault Slayer. And it's he's a pathetic ass person for this shit. I'm saying it again. He's a pathetic person for this shit. I don't know what's going on with this guy's personal life. I'm not going to even speak of it because it ain't none of my business. But I know when it comes to this internet life, he's still pathetic. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm going to talk about Moonsault Simp, aka Vol Schemer himself. Look, there's been several videos being made on him. There's been several videos being made on me. And the thing about it is, when it comes to Moonsault Slayer, I'm going to keep it all the way real with y'all when it comes to this dude. This dude is a complete clown. He's a complete fucking idiot. And like I said before, his actions show that he is a complete head-filled fuckboy. That's exactly what the fuck he is. And the dude can't fight in real life. I'm going to tell you that right now. He's just one of those guys. He don't know a shit about defending himself. You know, he sounds like a fragile ass leaf that falls off the tree into a fucking street puddle. That's how he is. He's as soft as fucking putty. And then you throw in all of this money around. Then you have the nerve to mention ex-girlfriends. Yeah, that's the reason why you got a lot of ex-girlfriends. Because you throw your money around and you're a fuck boy. When you continue to be a fuck boy, you're going to continue to have ex-girlfriends. Moonsault Slayer has no personality of his own. And I was already seeing it on Twitter and everywhere else. What's taking D so long to make a video? Oh, it's simple. Because I got a life outside of YouTube. I can't do 6 videos a day like Moonsault Slayer's trash ass. You know, YouTube is his fucking job. I'm not knocking that, but we can sit here and say, like, look, this is Moonsault Slayer's life right here. Make 6 videos a day, alive every day, and that's it. That's the dude's life. That ain't my life. I got shit to do. So basically, you know, I waited to handle my shit my personal shit and my responsibilities. Now I'm coming and giving y'all the video that y'all been waiting for. So that's the reason why it's taking so long, because I got a life outside of this shit. Moonsault Slayer don't. He has nothing outside of YouTube. Absolutely nothing. And this is the reason why he's on this fuckboy shit, where he's trying to please other YouTube content creators and personalities, because he doesn't have one of his own. He probably is one of those type of guys, does not have no friends outside of here. You got to really think about this. A guy that makes like 6 videos a day, how do you make time for a casual friend? How do you make time for trying to get pussy from a woman? Like, let's just keep it all the way real. Like 6 videos a day. Like, man, come on, man. The dude is a straight clown, a straight dunce. He really, truly is. And I'm saying that from the bottom of my heart, and I'm not going to take it back. The dude is a straight fucking clown. And if you like this dude, that's cool on you. But I'm going to just tell y'all something. The motherfucker has never shown his fucking face. He's like Jarvis from Iron Man. How can you just sit here and trust someone like that? I know I don't. That's why I don't fuck with these VTubers. You can't see them, and you can't trust them. If you can't, how can you trust something that you can't see? That's the type of shit right there. Those type of people will backstab you in a heartbeat, and it's exactly what Moonsault Slayer kept doing. He kept backstabbing me. You feel what I'm saying? And it's not going to happen again. It's not going to happen again. I know what this dude is. I know what he's all about. Everybody else can sit here and play like they like him. Nah, fuck that. I know what he's all about. He can go straight to hell. For real. His personality sucks. His content is derivative and it sucks. He doesn't know how to give you anything different or nothing like that. He tries to, but the fact that he does not have no personality, he does not know how to make it happen. You feel what I'm saying? So all of that shit, what he does over there, fuck him. I got something better over here. And I meant every single word I said. Better, I'm a better person, better content creator. I use a better character, better skilled at the game. All around better man. And I've said that, and that is the truth coming out of my mouth. Moonsault Slayer is not a man. He's practically a fucking AI. That's what he is. The only difference is AIs aren't fuckboys. This dude is a fucking fuckboy. And he's going to always be a fuckboy because he don't know how to grow and stand on his own. YouTube is all he has. It is just going to be the same shit over and over again with this dude. And I'm over here giving y'all different shit, classic shit all the time. I'd rather be me than to be Jarvis over there. Fuck the dumb shit. And it's more than likely Moonsault Slayer is going to watch this video. He's going to see it, and that's cool. And if he does see it, I mean every fucking word I say. He's a bitch. He's a moron. He's a follower. He has no personality of his own. And he's a fuck boy. I'm going to say it again. He's a fuck boy. That's exactly what Moonsault Slayer is. If y'all grew up where I grew up or similar to it, you would know the way Moonsault Slayer was acting. He's a fuck boy. Now, why was he acting like this? Well, here's the thing. Like I said, it started about 5 months ago. He came across Fighting GM. Like I said, Fighting GM told everybody that his play style was hindering. His connection was trash. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Fighting GM already said that. Okay? But then that interview came. Fighting GM interviewed him. Flash forward. Button check. AKA Ernesto Lopez makes the dumbest video I've ever fucking seen. I don't understand why would you make a video on another content creator like that. So Ernesto Lopez makes that stupid ass video. Oh, Moonsault Slayer, the Moonsault Slayer, dumbest video I've ever seen. I like Ernesto Lopez, dumbest video I've ever fucking seen. Dumbest video I've ever fucking seen. Flash forward. Main man Swede just comes out and just starts doing reaction videos on Moonsault Slayer when you got so many other great Yoshi players to pick from. And I'm gonna tell you right now, main man Swede just did that shit because he's stuck. He's stuck. He doesn't know where to go with his content. He has no direction right now, and he started doing that shit. And it, you know, the buff guy got caught in the fire. He really did. But when it comes to the buff guy, he's been avenged right now. And I know people have gone to the buff guy stream and told him what happened, how Moonsault Slayer got his ass kicked, and he got his ass kicked good. So, you know, shout out to the buff guy. You have been avenged. But I'm telling y'all this is because this is the reason why Moonsault Slayer's attitude has been the way it has been for the last few months. You know, he's coming across all these people. He came across Fighting GM, came across Joe Button. Main Man Sweet does a reaction video. Button Check does the dumbest video I've ever seen on him. His head got fucking filled up. And to be quite honest with you, you know, it depends on who you are that comes in his path. Because of that, Moonsault Slayer was going to treat you like straight shit. And that's exactly what happened when it came to me. He just treated me like I was just some nigga off the street because all of this friendships that he has when it comes to other people. That shit is just sickening to me. It's just really sickening to me. And that's the reason why I got pissed off. And that's the reason why I proceeded to beat the fuck out of his ass when it comes to Tekken 8. You know, he let all of that shit get to his head. And now Moonsault Mania is dead. You feel what I'm saying? And if a rematch ever happens, I'm going to beat his ass again. It's just one of those type of situations. It does not matter what type of training that he's doing. It's not going to happen over here. He's been downloaded. I know every single thing that he likes to do. I know that his connection is trash. But like I said, you're still going to see scrubby Tekken because sometimes you got to dumb down your game in order to get shit done. But I just laid it on why Moonsault Slayer's attitude is the way it is when it comes to this whole thing. Yeah, he got cocky to the motherfucker because who he done came across. But you know what? I took care of that shit. I took care of that shit. And like I said, Moonsault Mania is dead. It's never coming back. This guy is just basically dead to me. I don't give two fucks about him because like I said, the guy conned me. He really did. He faked all of that shit like we were cool with each other and we really weren't. Just because of who else that he was cool with. Man, fuck all of that shit. Fuck him. Fuck what he's about. Fuck his content. Fuck the dude. Fucking. And of course, you know, y'all was probably expecting something like an archive or some shit like that. But if y'all want to go see the archive, y'all can just go watch it on Mike Hollow's channel. It's there. I just felt that there was no reason for me to do a whole archive on the fight when it's already up on the internet. So if y'all want to see the archive of that, just go to Mike Hollow's channel. That's what I wanted to come on here and say when it comes to this whole situation between me and Val Schemer. And I will say it again. Moonsault Slayer or Moonsault Simp is a bitch. He's a follower. He has no personality of his own. He does questionable things. And like I said, he's a downright fuckboy and everybody sees it. Everybody sees it. And when it comes to Tekken 8, him trying to grow his skill in Tekken 8, he needs to grow his personality skills. Because his personality skills is fucking garbage. Like I said, he's like Jarvis from Iron Man. He's like Vicky from iRobot. That's just how he is. A complete fuckboy. Weasel. Fucking. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe for the hottest Tekken 8 action on the internet, period. My name is Demetrius. I will get back at you in the next video. God bless. Stay safe. I am out. Peace.